I don't want to say that we are warriors at heart, but if you look at Georgia's history, our nation was always fighting to defend itself. And we Georgians have it in our blood and our character.
Having been shackled by years of Soviet control, Georgian rugby finally had the freedom to flourish during the 1990s. And in 2003, the nation played at a World Cup for the first time. However, it was against Ireland 4 years later that the Lelos would signal their true potential.
I think the rise of Georgian rugby started from that moment.
An interception by Georgia. Georgia going to score, surely.
Major shocks are very unusual in rugby. What happened was rare in the whole history of the game.
No try. Scrum.
Had we won, it would have been a sensation. The guys did everything possible on the field.
Georgia went on to beat Namibia 30-0 for their first ever World Cup win. It was a landmark tournament. And in 2011, a man came on board who would help them take a further step forward.
I remember watching them against England in 2011 in Dunedin on TV, and the most lasting memory of that game is Mamuka Gorgodze having a whale of a game, and he struck me as just being, who the heck is this guy?
Gorgodze, amazing strength. Look at him, he's still trying to get back to his feet.
During the 2011 tournament, they approached New Zealand Rugby about having a New Zealand coach, and then New Zealand Rugby contacted me. Obviously, I started doing even more research in terms of who they were and what they were like. Nearly 8 years later, I'm sitting in Tbilisi still, so. When we started having conversations, I said to them that with my family we were going to move to Georgia, and that really did surprise them quite a bit because nobody had done that. When Lily turned 13, she came to me and said, "Dad, I've got a question." I said, "What is it, darling?" And she said, "Am I a New Zealander or am I Georgian? Because I've just figured out that I've lived half my life in Georgia and half my life in New Zealand." And I went, wow, okay, well, yeah, that's interesting. And so we and she says, "I want to know what I am." And I said, "Well, maybe you're a little bit of both. Maybe you're a Georgian Kiwi, because why wouldn't you be?"
Under Haig's leadership, Georgia earned 2 wins at the 2015 World Cup to secure automatic qualification for Japan, which will be his final tournament with the team.
What's it going to take for us to be world champions in 20 years? And then talk about what I'll feel. Absolutely, I'll have huge pride in the fact that, in some small way, I would have played a part in that. So, mate, if I'm on the beach having a beer and Georgia are playing New Zealand in the semi-final of the World Cup, future World Cup in 20 years, I'll tell you what, mate, that would be pretty emotional. That's for sure. Yeah, for sure.